I guess I wasn't concerned about their depth. I didn't necessarily think we had a real distinct advantage with their depth because those guys, they've been playing with five virtually all year long anyway. So I mean, I didn't think that was crucial. I did see them the other night against Underwood, and I thought that they had to play a little careful at times. They knew they couldn't maybe contest a few shots late in the third quarter with 3 fouls, and so they do play pretty smart, and they kind of saved them up tonight, I thought, and they were ready to battle there in the fourth quarter. But I guess I just I'm more about taking good shots, I guess, rather than quick or slow.
I mean, they're coming off the win over Underwood. Underwood was coming off the win over HSTW before that. How much of a feather in the cap is this with tournaments right around the corner?
Well, I think it's just a good late season test where it doesn't have any bearing on the conference at all, and you just kind of step out and see what you can do against like I said, a quality opponent. And like I said, if you come out on the short end, you'd have a chance to work on some things to shore up your game plan a little bit the rest of the year. So, and even so, they expose some weaknesses, some things we need to do, and that'll give us something to work on. Have Woodbine tomorrow night. See if we can't take care of business there. Then you got a couple practices the rest of the week, and we have a bit of time here before the season's over. Maybe get a couple practices in and get a few things shored up a bit.
Noah Pettipier made his return tonight, and how important was he, especially in the second half?
Oh, Coach and I both agreed he was a little bit rusty in the first half, but you can't expect anything any different than that. But I thought he played pretty strong. At times he played pretty aggressive. He went to the basket and kind of gives us that third rebounder out there, whereas some of our we get our little our guards out there where we're all 5'8" and 5'9". It's kind of hard to be a huge rebounding team, and he comes in there and gives you a little bit more of depth in that category. So I thought he played pretty well for being off for a month. So.
First half, 20 of your 28 points were from Rolled and Buckholt, all pretty darn close to the hoop. Is that a big priority?
Well, like we were talking earlier, I just thought the front of their zone came out an awful long ways from the lane, and we just thought we'd get the ball to high post, and if you got it there, the middle of the zone would come up, and either you take the 12, 14 footer, or when the middle of the zone comes up, you dump it down to one of the guys down below. And to be honest with you, I didn't think we took advantage of that as much as we probably could have. There's a couple times where we had some passes where we could have went to the basket, and we didn't. So, but that's kind of what we were looking at doing. Like I said, we weren't, it kind of goes back to that. Just take good shots, take high percentage shots is what we're kind of looking for.
How valuable was Buckholt's defense on Reboff?
Pretty valuable. I've seen the Reboff kid do a lot of different things over the year. Fortunately, the way our schedules have been, I've been able to see him play 3 times in the last couple of weeks. And he's always a matchup problem for everybody. And fortunately, we got Buckholt we can do some things with there. And for a little bit there, we put Burmeister on him just to see if we could maybe have Buckholt in a helping position, because we were kind of getting picked on top of there a little bit. Reboff was getting to the basket, but we switched back to the way we were before and just kind of stuck with what we've been doing, and it seemed like it was working about as good as anything, so we just stayed with that.
And how about Burmeister with some really timely steals too?
Yeah, he's a pretty heady player. That one at the end of the third quarter was big. 4 seconds left, they called a timeout and drew up a play, and he got a big steal on that reverse pass and laid it in, and just a big momentum changer. Like I said, he's just a pretty heady player. Got a lot of those things you can't teach, or you don't teach. He just has them.
There weren't necessarily any huge momentum swings, but they were early third quarter. I think built the lead as large as 8. Then you guys got up by 7. Any adjustments, really that both sides made that factored into that?
I think we were just doing a little bit better job of maybe not quite helping quite as much. We talked earlier about we were going to try to have somebody beat us beside Reboff and Colleen, and then not give the 2 post players anything easy inside. And then we thought early in the first half the Jensen kid took a 3 and missed it, and then he didn't look at the basket the rest of the first half, and then he knocked down 2 in the second half, to just enough to keep you honest. And but all in all, we talk a lot about playing the score and not the game. Rather that play the game and not the score here. Get it right. That way, just keep doing the things you're supposed to be doing and do it right, and the score generally takes care of itself.
You've had a lot of good wins this season. Where does this one rank?
Oh, I think it's pretty important, especially this time of year. Here we are in February, and you're trying to get everything headed in the right direction for tournament time, and I think it's a pretty good win for us.
Always fun talking to you. Thanks, Newt.
Thanks for the coverage.